In 1996, societal views on sexual abuse were heavily influenced by traditional gender norms that often dismissed the possibility of men being victims. The prevailing belief was that sexual abuse primarily affected women, with male victims frequently overlooked or stigmatized. The notion of men being abused contradicted established stereotypes of masculinity, which portrayed men as strong, dominant, and invulnerable. As a result, male survivors of sexual abuse, like Eric and Lyle Menendez, faced skepticism and shame, making it difficult for their trauma to be taken seriously. This lack of understanding and recognition hindered their ability to seek help and be believed, contributing to the challenges they faced during their trials. D.A. Hochman: the Menendez brothers were not lying when they stated that they were relentlessly abused sexually, emotionally, physically, and verbally for the first 18 to 21 years of their lives. Body language experts analyzing Eric and Lyle's testimony after the first trial identified clear indicators of truthfulness in their accounts. Their physiological responses, such as genuine tears, nasal congestion, and vocal changes, are recognized hallmarks of authentic emotional crying, which cannot easily be fabricated. Furthermore, nonverbal cues, including visible anxiety, avoidance behaviors, and shifts in posture, strongly suggested that the brothers were reliving genuine experiences of trauma and sexual abuse, as they testified. Behavioral health experts corroborated these findings, emphasizing that their testimony was consistent with the psychological and emotional patterns observed in survivors of severe abuse. These observations add significant weight to the brothers' claims and highlight the need to approach this case with a deeper understanding of trauma's profound impact. D.A. Hochman further claimed that newly introduced evidence regarding the brothers' allegations of abuse lacked credibility and did not justify altering their original life sentences without parole. Let's just get this story straight. D.A. Hochman does not have a background in mental health. So, how could he possibly make an informed decision about the authenticity of this new evidence? First of all, it never should have gotten to this point where the brothers have already spent 35 years in prison. They were wrongfully convicted of first-degree red rum when it should have been manslaughter, with a sentence of 50 years in prison with a possibility of parole after 15 years. They should have been out 20 years ago, but society was not ready at that time to accept the fact that men could be abused. So, let's ask the obvious. Exactly how did D.A. Hochman attempt to authenticate the letter Eric wrote to his cousin Andy, which alluded to sex SA by his father? How did he verify the claim of the Menudo band member, who courageously came forward to reveal that Jose Menendez, the band's CEO, SAs him on multiple occasions? The answer is clear: he didn't. D.A. Hochman's handling of this case is nothing short of negligent, and he should be tried for malpractice. How can anyone, let alone a district attorney, blatantly disregard the expert witnesses from the first trial? How can anyone ignore the testimony of multiple family members, coaches, and teachers who all pointed to signs of abuse? Just because society in 1996 refused to believe that males could be victims of sexual abuse doesn't mean that disbelief should persist today. The evidence is there. It has always been there. Sexual abuse of males has been happening long before this trial, and society has finally begun to accept this reality. Yet somehow, D.A. Hochman clings to the outdated rules and toxic stigma of 1996 as if progress and understanding mean nothing to him. His refusal to evolve with the times is not just ignorant, it's harmful. It perpetuates the very disbelief and shame that silences survivors and denies them justice. D.A. Hochman's actions are a disgrace to the very system he claims to uphold. Furthermore, D.A. Hochman has expressed skepticism about relying on dramatized or reenacted portrayals of events, stating that he prefers to review source documents and factual evidence rather than media representations. He implied that those who support the Menendez brothers' early release have based their opinions on the Netflix series Monsters. In one of his statements, he suggested that many followers of the case have been caught up in the emotional drama, which he believes has clouded their judgment. However, the truth is that this series piqued the curiosity of many followers and inspired a large part of the new generation to explore the case further. It led them to dive deeper into the case by watching actual trial recordings to uncover the truth directly from the proceedings as they unfolded. Importantly, this new wave of interest has brought to light a deeper understanding of the psychological effects of SA on the human brain, an understanding that DA Hochman seems to lack. The new generation, in particular, recognizes the devastating impact of SA and has begun to accept the reality that males, too, can be victims. This broader awareness directly challenges the outdated perspectives that dominated during the Menendez brothers' initial trials.